folks, it's Teresa from Stringfield Ridge Farm. I want to talk to you today about something I just started doing that I think is a good idea for anyone and for different occasions, and that is journaling. A lot of people journal. I've been journaling for years. I have probably 15 to 20 journals going for different reasons. And I just started a new one that I thought might help other people also. I have lots of herb books and wild medicinal herb books of every sort and kind. Here's an old one that's one of my favorites. It is Using Plants for Healing. That's a very old book that I have relied on for a lot of years. And The Green Pharmacy is one of my favorites. This is absolutely one of my favorite books for medicinal purposes. And so I'll show that because that is absolutely one of my favorites. If you don't have that one, you really should get it. And then there's lots of others. Like I said, I have tons and tons of them. I've just shown a few here. But if you're like me, a lot of times I will just look up something online, but we might not always have online to look at. And so I love keeping my books. We also forage for medicinal plants, and I have books on that too. Between me and Lee both, we know a lot of foraging and especially medicinal purposes for wild plants and things like that. And between the two of us, we know a lot of that, but I also rely on my books a lot of times too, and the internet too. But like I said, you might not always have the internet to fall back on. So I was talking to Lee about this recently, and I said, you know what, sometimes I don't remember, I don't retain all of the information. And I have a lot of tinctures and dried herbs. I'm trying to convert everything to tinctures and using 100% vodka because that will last forever. So I am currently taking a lot of my medicinal plants and herbs and foraged things and turning them into tinctures in small jars, mostly in small jars, because most times you don't need a whole lot. Some things, if it's something we're going to use a lot of, I might use pints or something like that. I also use dropper bottles, but mostly I make them in the little half pint like jelly jar type thing, and depending on what it is, of course. I have all that going. I have probably right now about 15 jars going or made, and then I probably have that many of dried herbs in jars, 15 or 20. So I use those, and we've been talking about how much more we need to have of that stuff. But I told him one problem I worry about is retaining the information so that I know it quick when I need it in a emergency, or somebody's sick and I got to think what I can give them, what I can do or what I can give them quick. I don't retain that as well as I used to. And getting older, and I don't know if it's even age. I don't even know if age is a problem with that. But I remember some things, especially after I've already used them several times. Then I might remember them. But retaining that knowledge is sometimes a problem with some of us. I'm going to start writing down a new journal idea. I'm gonna write down the things that we have. I'm gonna start listing in here the medicinal tinctures we have and everything it's good for. So I'll probably take 1 page for each thing that we already have. And a lot of these books that I have will tell you, you know, they list everything. Well, I may not have access to everything in here. This will have the things that I have access to. We have woods right behind our house that is full of medicinal plants and edible wild plants and things. And we've shared some of that on our channel. So if you want to see any of that, go back and look at some of our older videos. We have a lot of foraging and medicinal plants and things, and we plan to do more of that. I will be writing all that down in this book. I'm going to take 1 page for each plant and list how to use it, how to make it, how to use it, and what it's good for. And then that way I will know when something comes up, this book I can go to and know I have all the ingredients for that. So I just thought that was a good idea. I just started doing this, so I have just been going through my stock and writing down what I have, and then I search each one in my books. I am using my books to search for that plant and take a whole page and write down everything I can find about that plant or that herb. So I have gotten started on it and taken a few pages. I started alphabetically. So for instance, I have some goldenrod here that I started in 2020. I write, you know, some of it on the top there, but now I started writing, making a label. This is self-heal. It's in a bigger jar because self-heal is good for so many things that I thought we might use more of that. This is actually a oxymel. And oxymel has honey in it. This is apple cider vinegar and honey, and it is self-heal. Now, I dated this because this will last, you know, like 5 years or so. Probably longer than that, but it may not last as long as the 100% vodka. Self-heal is a medicinal wild plant that grows here on our property. We found it a couple of years ago. Lee found it, didn't know what it was, and he came and asked me, and I looked it up and found it in one of my books, and it was self-heal. And it is good for so many things. Well, when I looked that up to actually make a tincture or something out of it, I saw that certain ones are better as an oxymel or you know, something else. Some are better in oil, just depending on what you have and what you're going to use it for. So it's best to look that up and make sure, figure out what you're going to use it for mostly, how much you're going to need of it, and that kind of thing, and then label it good. And then you can log that in your journal and know that that's what you have on hand for this and this and this and this. And I would like to figure out a way to also list the ailments and what all are good for that ailment instead of just the name at the top. You know, so all of those will go in my journal. And like I said, that way I'll know, instead of this book, probably, like when I look in this book, I might find an ailment and it tells what all's good for that ailment. Well, I might not have any of those ingredients. So this book is so that I will know what ingredients I do have on hand somewhere in some form. And I'll probably write that on there too, of what I have, how I have it. If it's a dried herb or which I would like to convert all my dried herbs. Dried herbs only last for a couple of years. If I convert them all to tinctures, then they'll last a whole lot longer. You can dry your herbs and seal them, you know, airtight, vacuum seal them or something and make them last a little longer. And I do that. So all of my dried herbs are vacuum sealed, but that still only lasts a few years, you know, and they start losing their potency. So I really want to get them all converted. But anyway, I just wanted to show this because when I had the idea to do this, I thought other people might like that idea too. So that's why I'm sharing this information with you in case it sparks an idea in your head to start you a journal. I'm going to call this our medicinal journal, Stringfield Ridge medicinal journal or something. And it will, like I said, just be what we have on our property. Some of it won't even get put in tinctures maybe. Some of it will be stuff that we have growing in our woods, but I'll still list it because I will know that I can go back here in my woods and find that and use that. So it might not be a tincture. It might just be a plant that's growing back here in my woods. I will still list that in this book. So anyway, just thought I'd give you that idea. Thanks for stopping in, and give us a like, subscribe, and comment, and watch us on Friday nights at 7 p.m. Central Time. We have a lot of fun on our live show.